So I'm trying to think of a way to say this nicely and politely. But here we go. In my opinion, there are an awful lot of Democrats who frankly seem way too confident when it comes to the upcoming 2016 presidential election. There are a lot, not all, but a lot of Democrats that seem to think that the general election is going to be a cakewalk, that Hillary Clinton is just going to trounce Donald Trump, that there is no way Donald Trump can win. There's no way that Donald Trump can be president. If you're someone who believes that, you might want to take a look at a few troubling polls that came out this week on Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump, specifically in swing states. You know, swing states. The few states who, thanks to the Electoral College, actually get to decide who the leader of the free world is. You know, where the rest of our votes don't actually count. The swing state votes count, and the swing state polls are kind of frightening. Now, to be clear, these are Quinnipiac polls, and Quinnipiac does tend to lean to the right, but if these polls give you no cause for concern, none at all, I would argue you're kidding yourself. So the latest Quinnipiac polls that came out this week have Hillary up by only 1 point in the swing state of Florida. 1 point, obviously well within the margin of error. They have her up, surprisingly so, only by 1 point in the swing state of Pennsylvania, which is also usually a pretty safe Democratic state. They have Hillary Clinton losing by 4 points to Donald Trump in the swing state of Ohio. Scary stuff. And look, I know it's early, but it's actually not just Quinnipiac. There are a lot of other polls that show the race between Clinton and Trump is actually tightening. Despite that, I have seen so many people on Twitter, so many people on social media saying, these polls don't matter. The polls don't mean anything. The thing is, a lot of the people saying those types of things are actually the same exact people who over the past year or so have said things like, Donald Trump is never gonna be the Republican nominee. No. He'll never be the nominee. It's gonna be Jeb Bush. Then Jeb Bush drops out. So then they say, no, it's gonna be Chris Christie. Oh wait, Christie dropped out. Well, it's not Christie, but it's definitely not. It's not gonna be Trump. It's gonna be Marco Rubio. For sure, Marco Rubio. It's not gonna be Donald Trump. Sure, the polls show it's gonna be Donald Trump, but don't believe the polls. Do not believe the polls. It is going to be Marco Rubio. Oh wait, Rubio's dropped out? Doesn't matter. It's not going to be Trump. It'll never be Trump. You know why? It's going to be a contested convention. Yeah, contested convention. And then it's definitely going to be John Kasich. Oh wait, John Kasich's gone too? Oh wait, what I meant to say is it is definitely going to be Ted Cruz. Oh wait, Cruz is gone now too? Well then, how about Mitt Romney? How about Paul Ryan? How about, I don't know, Mickey friggin' Mouse? You get my point, right? Pundit after pundit after pundit said, despite the polls, despite the win after win after win that Donald Trump piled up, they kept saying it wasn't going to be him. They were all wrong. They were all horribly wrong. And now a lot of those same exact people say there is no way that Donald Trump will beat Hillary Clinton. No way that Donald Trump will be president. You know, despite what some of these polls are starting to say. And yes, you don't have to tell me how horrible Trump is. I know that. I know Trump's a sexist. I know he's a racist. I know he's a monster. But this is America we're talking about. There are lots of sexist, racist monsters in America. And, you know, I've said this a lot of times on the show. Clinton versus Trump is, in my opinion, a really bad matchup for Democrats. If you follow the show, you know I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter. And the fact is, pretty much every poll, the ones that the Democrats and the pundits keep telling you to ignore, pretty much every single poll show Bernie Sanders beating Donald Trump at a much higher rate than Hillary Clinton does. Bernie Sanders, the fact is, does very well among independent voters. That's a fact. The same independents that, frankly, a lot of state Democratic parties did not allow to vote in the primaries. The truth is, Clinton doesn't do that well with independents, and there is a very good chance that independents in swing states will decide the 2016 presidential election. But look, you know, the sad truth is, and the infuriating truth is, if you don't want a President Trump, a lot of Democrats are frankly choosing to ignore all that. And look, I am not saying that Donald Trump is definitely going to win, but if you think there is no chance that Donald Trump will win, I frankly have no idea where your confidence comes from.